Sup nerds, Uncle here with my teammate Chimba, bringing you a sweaty lore review for an absolute banger of a lore of Shadows. Chimba, what's going on with this lore?
I would say it's an absolute banger of a spell rather than a lore,
Yeah, yeah,
because this whole lore is just
our
Melkos
boy Melkoth.
mystifying miasma. Yeah, like forget about Melkos. Like you just always take it and then ignore the rest of the lore. But
Yeah,
like it's still there. You have enfeebling foe. You have like -24, -24. It's a good debuff. It
it
lasts a
is.
little bit too short for my liking personally. Like 17 seconds. I wish it was like at least 20. But it's still a good debuff.
It's very good on cav
Pendulum.
engages. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. But you have Melkos for those.
right. Yeah, yeah.
You
Melkoth.
already
Melkoth is your priority, and then sometimes it's on cooldown, and you're like, fine, fine. I'll read the other spells, I guess.
exactly, yeah. Pendulum, you barely see it nowadays, to be
Yep.
honest. But for me personally, I really like Pendulum just because it's good because you're already taking Melkos, right? And then if you actually need to deal with anything else like infantry, if you can catch like 2 units in a Pendulum, it's good enough and it's quite fast, so it's not as dodgeable as a Burning Head
Yep.
because Burning Head is like super slow. It's like wiggling around, but fast and just deals its damage. So if they're like two Glade Guard on top of each other, it will get you like 200 value from a single cast, which is
Yeah,
good.
and sometimes you're like doing build up and you want to dump WOM when you come in, or it's
Hmm.
particularly important that you break through the front line fast. Like if you're playing a melee build up or rush against Grand Cathay,
Yep.
Pendulum can have great applications for that, like spiking through part of the front line so that your cav and infantry can get through into the back line quickly.
Yep. And then you have Pit of Shades, which is like one of the OG broken
Yep.
vortexes, but it's no longer like that because
Yeah,
it's
it's
just a
like mid.
stationary
It
vortex.
it, it works now, but you're not excited about it.
And like it also like kind of keeps everything inside of it. So then whenever you cast it on stuff, as long as it's like not a large single entity, it's gonna stay in there. It's gonna keep taking damage until it runs out.
Yep. So overall, really powerful lore. One quick comment: I've been testing the withering a little bit, and I do think it works. Melkoth is so good that the dynamic is like you take it and you just cast it on their units that are like expensive and don't have a lot of health. So like weapons teams, archers, cavalry is the main target, and you just do it
Hmm.
every time it's off cooldown. But in some builds and situations, you're not able to spend all your WOM on that, so you take something else. The withering can actually be kind of decent as that something else where it drops armor and leadership. So it's fine on cab duels, not quite as good as enfeebling. But if you're planning for cab to hit something else, like for example, dwarven quarrelers or a bunch of the Skaven units that have some armor but not a lot, it can actually be pretty efficient to one-shot units. But it's not like a great spell. It's like you take it because you can't just only cast miasma, and you're like, okay, what does this do?